I make a podcast episode every single day for 365 days.
You will be hated for speaking the truth.
You definitely have like an X-ray goggles on, where you can see someone's aura.
A house divided against itself shall not stand. Matthew chapter 12, verse 25.
If you want to make something of yourself, forget your political beliefs.
Because different believers experience God in different ways, different non-believers need different explanations to see God as real. Things that make you angry suck you in.
Satan's plan fails, right? And God's plan prevails.
Let me just cut to the chase. If you do something new, you try to make a change in your life, you will be fearful. There will be fears. It will make you feel uncomfortable. But that is the whole point of doing it. The change, we as humans, we are very anti-change. The worst thing you can be is stubborn and stuck in your ways. That is not a very fruitful way to live life. We as humans, but like the problem is, as humans, we really want to keep things as organized, as neat and tidy, as structured, as similar as possible. We want to know what we're going to be doing with our days, with our time, and we very rarely will kind of jump forward willingly into like some huge change. It takes some big, deep moment to happen to actually drive us to change. Even if our current lifestyle, the way we're currently living, is actually hurting us more than it's helping us, we don't want to change it because we are just so stubborn, and it's a natural tendency. But you need to control those tendencies and understand that change is good, and change makes for a better life. It makes for a more fruitful life. If you're going to make a change, you're going to do something new, you have to understand that like these are the things you're going to have to overcome. You have to accept it, rationalize it in your mind, accept that yes, you're going to feel a little bit fearful. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're not really going to know, right? And not knowing is going to make you feel uncomfortable. Not knowing what's going to happen is going to make you come up with all sorts of rationalizations to not make the change, to not do the thing, to not do that new thing. But that new thing is way better for you than if you just continue to stay stuck in your ways. Because you're never going to grow. You're never going to move forward in your life if you stay stuck in your ways. Here's my example, and this is why I'm talking about this idea as I'm talking about it, the way I'm talking about it in this episode. The way I'm talking about it, the reason why I'm talking about it is because I have things going on in my life right now where change is happening. Things that I kind of look at, and sometimes I feel a little bit overwhelmed when I look at things. Like I have a personal training course coming up, this 3 full days where I basically am there learning stuff about whatever we're doing with personal training. So on those days, I'm going to be making episodes in advance and posting them, scheduling the posting of them, because I'm literally just doing this all day. I look at that and I'm like a little bit fearful as well. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything stupid or awkward. And then, it's also like you have to be in there for 3 full days, right? These thoughts come in my head and then I instantly kind of shut them down because I'm like, this is all stupid. This is all my mind telling me things and making the situation worse. Whereas it's going to be good because getting a personal training license is a very good thing for me. It is a way forward. It is a pathway to potentially opening up a couple of doors for my future. It starts with going through the sucky times, going through like those things, meeting new people and that kind of stuff, the change that it brings, at least for those few days. And then there's the exam, and then there's whatever happens after that. That is what I've been looking at in recent times in my life. This specific thing as well. There are a couple of other things as well that I'm kind of thinking about in a similar manner, but I'll reveal those later on as those things get closer. But the point I'm trying to make is like, it's just how it is. Like you're not going to just be able to jump straight into something, especially if you live a life where you're a little bit reserved. You like the simple things. There's nothing wrong with that, right? You're in your house. You have your routine, you have your structure. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But at some point, it just becomes like you're wanting more and you're searching for more, because we as humans, we search for more. But our brains are such tricksters, such pranksters in all of our heads. We want more, but then when it's time to go get more, we're fearful. How does that work? How does that make any sense? It's literally just because this is our brain not actually knowing what it wants. It is our brain giving us so many different inputs, different signals, contrasting signals, not actually knowing what it wants. So when you're trying to do a new thing, trying to make a big change, whatever it may be, if you're going to a place, studying, or like making a big jump, big change, for me, it's the personal training course, which might potentially help me in some aspect going forward in my life. I don't even really know. but it's that not knowing that makes me a little bit fearful. But you have to understand that these things are all natural. They will always indefinitely be there. They will never not be there. So are you going to be the type of guy that lets your fears overcome you and then you just curl up in a ball, stay in your basement and continue acting the same way, doing the same things in your life, letting opportunities pass you by? I don't think that is something good. I truly don't. Like that's just my opinion, right? You live your life, I live my life, but you're not growing, you're not learning, and you're going to stay exactly where you are. Like that stubbornness, that kind of just friction, right? You're not willing to change. You don't want to do something new. And I know certain people in my life that are like that. They don't really ever want to do anything new. It's always this big thing when we suggest something to do that's new, that's different, that's going out there, experiencing different things. I know a lot of people that will just shut it down. And again, there's nothing particularly wrong with a set routine, a structure in your life, but how long until you start to stagnate? How long until you actually realize, oh, like I could be doing more with my days. I could be doing more with my life. There's more potential here. How long, right? Sometimes like for me personally, it usually takes me a couple weeks. And eventually I realize, like very, very quickly, I realize, yeah, this is not going to work. I got to change something. And I'm pretty good with that, where I'm pretty good at making changes in small and sometimes bigger aspects of my life to do things a little bit differently. But even still, I have these fears. Even still, I have these feelings that are within me that I always have to go in and overcome them. Otherwise, you are just going to just curl up in a ball and waste a lot of your potential, waste a lot of your time, because we all have this indefinite potential. If you can push through that fear, the level of possibilities is immense. It is infinite possibilities as to what you can achieve, what you can go and do if you push through those fears. You get through that friction, that uncomfortable feeling, push through and go do the thing, make the change, try that new thing that you've been internally wanting to do, or you felt like you've needed to do for a long time. A lot of people are kind of hearing that screaming in their hearts, screaming in their souls, like a little bit of like an emptiness, a little bit of a feeling that's missing. A lot of people in this world, they go through that and they never act on those desires because they're too scared to step outside of their comfort zone, or to make other people mad, or to just become a different person. But it's absolutely okay to become a different person. That's what God calls us to do. He doesn't say, oh, stay the exact same. No, he calls us to learn, to grow, to make mistakes, to push through our fears, put our fears onto him, and the fears of this world become nothing. Push through our fears to then reach our potential. We all have innate potential. There's always something that you can do that will make your life better. It will make it more fruitful. It'll make your days more fulfilling. But you will have to always, always, always push through that feeling of fear. So that's what I'm trying to isolate today. Is the fact that no matter what, our brains will try to trick us. Our brains will try to screw us over, keep us exactly where we are, keep us exactly put in the same place. But to reach your true potential, to achieve many great things in life, it takes that extra step, that going into the unknown, that fear of the unknown, pushing through it, not letting it affect your decisions, basically. Respond to fear by just acting, right? The more you think and you think and you think, you can end up rationalizing reasons as to why you're not going to make this change, you're not going to do something new, you're not going to listen to the screaming feeling in your heart to make whatever change is necessary in your life. And it's just going to keep you stuck exactly where you are. But if you ignore that feeling, you stop thinking, just focus on acting and being the type of person that pushes through fears, that can step outside of their comfort zone as consistently as possible, then as you kind of grow into that type of person, that will only lead to many more great gifts, great benefits in your life. Like, for example, me, my situation, my example, right? My personal training thing. When I go and I push through these fears, I push through these just stupid feelings in my mind to go and do the course. When it's all said and done, I'm a certified personal trainer, right? I would know a lot more about the human body, about nutrition, about all these types of things that I can use for myself in my own life. I can use for my other endeavors in my own life, in my coaching other people, whether it's personal training, whether it's on the football field. These things all kind of apply and will all help me in some way, one way or another, even if I don't actually become a personal trainer in the exact specific way that I'm thinking, right? So there's no reason to not do it. I've already booked it. I've already paid for it. So of course I'm going to do it. but the feelings are still there. It just, like, you can think about it in this way, but the feelings will not leave your body. You will still have times and have moments where, you wake up in the morning and, like, for some reason you're thinking about how daunting this thing is, but it's not that daunting. It's not that crazy, right? I'm going to have a 3-day course, and then a month later I'll do my exam, and then a couple other processes, and then boom, I'm certified and it's good to go. And I'm pretty sure it lasts a while, at least probably I'd imagine like 3 to 5 years being certified. So I can use that and use the knowledge to help me in my own, growing physically, my own health, and helping others as well. So for me, when I look at it like that and you break it down like that, it's a no-brainer. Maybe that's exactly what you have to do as well. Break it down, not with emotion, not letting the fear kind of talk. Don't let the fear talk. Let the actual, real, logical, rational version of you talk, and just try and convince yourself why this change, this new thing, is a good idea. And you should do it. Even if maybe it doesn't lead to anything, maybe it ends up not really working out and ends up not being a good idea, but at least you tried. And if you try there, it will allow you to try in other aspects as well to make a change, right? Let me give a couple of examples just to kind of make it a little bit more real for you. Maybe I speak to a specific situation that you're dealing with right now. And then I'll wrap up this episode. I'm just going to give a couple examples. Like, what does it look like when you're going to make a big change in your life and you want to push through those fears, but you have the fear? Let's say you work a 9 to 5 job, and that's your life, right? You make money, you never really save a lot, you have a little bit of savings, you don't have enough for like extra luxuries, but you're good, like, right in the middle class, right? You're raising your family, you have enough for basic expenses, but you're kind of still living paycheck to paycheck a little bit, like feeling a little bit squeezed, right? And you have this idea as to start a side hustle, right? Start a business, start something that can potentially give you some extra income. A lot of people, they have this idea and they never start. They even get a bank account, or they even, like, they make a business bank account, or even make their business social profiles, or whatever the thing is. They even make a website. They even make a custom email, even like pay for these things too. And then they don't actually follow through with it. Because why? Because of fear of trying something new, fear of failure, fear of doing something different, fear of not knowing what's going to happen, fear of actually just not knowing anything at all. You're always going to have to learn, if you're starting a hustle, starting a business, how to do it and how to do it effectively if you're going to make money from it. But regardless, if you're thinking about it, you should still at least start. You don't need that much money to start something. It might not work out, but at least you're learning skills and you're building at least small skills that will help you in different ways going forward. And if you start a new thing, you have a better idea, a more refined business plan, then maybe it can help you move forward. And eventually, if you continue to work hard, you continue to put the hours and the time into it, you can get to the point where you no longer have to worry so much about the money, because you're getting enough extra income from the hustle and it's bringing in consistent income for you. You can pay off whatever debts you have, pay off your mortgage, all that kind of stuff, and truly be comfortable, truly buy some nice things, right? And enjoy the fruits of your labor. That is kind of the end goal of that situation. But a lot of people fail to start because of their fears, because of the stepping outside of the comfort zone, the not really knowing things, the feeling of being uncomfortable. And that stops them. It stops them from truly finding what's possible, truly finding that financial freedom. So we as humans would prefer at times to just be in a mildly strenuous but still kind of bad situation than a potentially amazing situation if you have to make a big change to get there. We'd rather stay exactly where we are than make a change to something better. Even if where we are is actually hurting us more than it's helping us. So a lot of people, they end up just rationalizing it and being okay with just continuing to kind of live paycheck to paycheck, just working a 9 to 5 job that they don't really like, but they get paid just enough, and they do that for the rest of their life. And then, well, that's their life. And I think that's a wasted life, me personally. So that's an example. Another example could be something as simple as your sleep. Like, if you don't know me, I'm a guy very obsessed with sleep. I make sure I do so many different experiments when it comes to my sleep, when it comes to like my energy levels throughout the day, trying to be well rested, well energized as much as possible. If you're being in bed super late because you're playing video games or you're on call with people or whatever, and you're waking up late, you might be just tempted to just continue with that lifestyle, right? But what happens when you actually are forced to get up early? You're then on like 4 hours of sleep, and you have to push through some very, very intense levels of tiredness, and or you have to drink energy drinks, caffeine to keep you going. Whereas a small change, just sacrifice that extra time where you're playing games or you're watching shows or whatever, and go to bed a bit earlier. And really, there are so many benefits to it, right? It's a much smaller example than the previous one, but I think these as well as many other things. So whatever, like they speak to you, whatever thing that you're thinking of right now that you want to do, you should just act. That is the ultimate solution to the fears. Don't let them even have the time to materialize, to metastasize in your brain. Just you have this idea, act on it. Do something right now. Do something today that can make it good. If it's a course, in my case, it's the personal training thing. For you, it could be anything else. If it is a course, if it is school, if it's something like that, the easiest thing you can do is go register for that today. Even if the course itself is in a few weeks, few months' time, register today. That's a good idea, right? If it is a hustle, a business, something like that, make something today. Make a website, make the accounts today. Start making something tangible right now. Instead of sitting there in your fears and continuing to live the exact way you are and relinquishing a lot of your potential, you should just go. Just go, just do it. And again, convince yourself why it's a good idea, because 9 times out of 10 it is actually a very good thing to make change, to do something new, to do something different, to spice it up a little bit. We as humans, for some reason, for whatever reason, we always want it to be exactly the same. And there's always this like hidden mental barrier that prevents us from it. But from making like a big change. Don't be that person. Be the type of person that cuts through the fear, that cuts through the not knowing, the fear of the unknown, and goes and acts with full intention of making a big change to improve their life. Be that type of a person. I truly invite you to do that. Be that type of a person. Don't let the fears overcome you. Put your fears in God. Put your fears in something greater than yourself rather than these more trivial things that happen in this world, and you will be able to truly achieve many great things. Look at it from the bigger picture. It's like your life's not going to be significantly worse if you make this change and it doesn't work out. And it will be, usually, again, it will be better for you anyway. Even if the thing that you go and do doesn't work out, you'll still learn many, many amazing things. I gave the example of my life personally, the things I'm going through right now, the personal training stuff. It could be absolutely anything else in your life, but I know that every single one of you watching has something in their minds that they want to do, right? They want to go out and be different in and change and improve their life in, right? So why are we still waiting, right? Well, the reason why we're waiting is because you're stuck in fear. You're in the trap of overthinking it. So don't overthink it. Don't be in fear. Instead, just whatever thing you feel like you need to do, go and do it. Act in the best way possible, in the most intentional way possible, as big of an action as you can possibly take today, right now, this day. Do it. Go and do it, and you'll find that you'll slowly be able to build those new habits and truly fulfill your potential, have a fruitful life, improve a lot of aspects of your life, gain a lot of knowledge and wisdom and learning and understanding of things, and it will only be better for you going forward. So that's it. That's all I got to say for this episode. It's a little bit motivational, I admit. It was a little bit motivational, but it's a thing that we all go through, and I feel like it was necessary for me to talk about it today because it's something that I'm feeling these feelings, and I'm thinking, why am I even having the fears of this? It's something so easy, right? So I'm talking about because I know that my things are actually much smaller in comparison to the fears that a lot of other people have that prevent them from going and achieving great things. Where true human potential lies and true greatness lies is by stepping outside of your comfort zone, doing the thing that you don't want to do. And at times it will still be hard, right? At times the fears that you have will still actually come true, but on the other side of the difficulty, the other side of the stress will be great joy, will be fruits that you can cherish for the rest of your life, knowledge you can cherish for the rest of your life. So go right now, act on something that you've been wanting to do in your life, make a big change today, and it will only help you move forward. Thank you for watching this episode of the 365 podcast. that is all I got for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you go and you actually make that big change in your life. Push past your brain's internal mechanisms because they're stupid anyway, and go take massive action towards whatever thing you're trying to do in your life. So thank you for watching. As always, show your support in any way that you can. I appreciate you for being here. Like the video, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify, leave a comment. Let me know what thing you are going to change today to do better in your life. That is all I got to say for today. Again, showing your support helps me know that you enjoy this type of content, this episode, and that you feel inspired. I hope I inspired you to go and make some sort of a change, or at least giving you this, planted the seed in your head, giving you the knowledge that yes, the fears will always be there, but it's up to you to push through it. And there's always going to be friction and stress, but if you push through it, you will find the answers, you will find the joy, you will find the solution, you will learn many amazing things. Thank you for watching this episode of the 365 Podcast. I'll wrap it up. I'll sign you off here. As always, continue to glorify God through your life every day. As always, I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode.